Welcome to the Diabetes Nerd Podcast. I am your host, Ginger Vieira. With me today is my bestie and business partner, Tara Mayo, and our guest is the one and only BJ Garceau. Hello.
Oh my gosh! First of all, hi! I'm so honored to be in the on the same podcast with both of you. I see online just your friendship and things like that, and I love both of you ladies so much. So it's nice to officially sit down with both of you.
We love you.
You're
too.
killing it in the business world.
We love you too. So listen, we're gonna cut right to it. You just went through something traumatic and scary, and it's traumatic and scary without type 1, and then you add type 1 to it, and it's extra scary. And you have talked about this on your social channel. It riled up a lot of concern and questions from other T1Ds. Tell us what happened. Let's hear it.
Well, first of all, and I just want to take this moment to recognize we have some violence happening in our country, and I just want to take a moment to honor everyone affected by those violent acts and remember those we lost from everybody to that point. So what happened to me, and it could have been much worse, as everyone always says. I was at a situation where I work. I work in healthcare full time, and we hear over the intercom that we are on lockdown, but they can't tell you anymore because they don't want a reaction or things to get chaotic. So they just tell us we're on lockdown until further notice. No one has any idea what's going on. So we're in our department, which I work in sterile processing, and we just find this out. And I find out from a security guard because we were still able to walk around the hospital. We just couldn't leave the building or allow people inside the building. So
in your video, it looked like you were kind of locked in a room.
I went into a safe, secure spot in a bathroom because we were after the shift and we were done our work, but we couldn't leave the building. So what had happened was I used that as an opportunity to record, like, if this is going to get out of hand, because again, we had no idea what was going on. It turned out that a person got upset with the way a medical provider spoke to them. So we are having a healthcare crisis up here in Maine where several of our walk-in clinics have shut down. So now we have EDs, so our emergency rooms are becoming overflooded right now.
Yeah.
So we had an individual come into the ED, and they were spoken to a certain way by a medical staff, and they left, apparently went and got a knife, came back, demanded to speak to this healthcare provider, and this is just hearsay from security. And security was like, no, they got aggressive, pulled out the knife, put it towards security, and then said, I'm going to come back, I'm going to take these things, because security started to approach them. We had no idea what this was. Like, it could have been worse. There's a lot of things happening. There could have been an active shooter. But one thing that this brought to my attention was, what if my insulin pump goes off? Because I beep all the time. Like, we had to be quiet. We had to be secure. And it was one of those situations. I did not wake up thinking, today's the day. Today's the day we get attacked at where I work. And like, people, as much as we think we're prepared for these things, how prepared are we? Like, do you wake up in the morning and just bring an emergency bag anticipating a violent crime?
Most people do not. And I mean, so like, let's say it was an active shooter wandering around the halls with a semi-automatic, you're going to be hiding somewhere trying to be as quiet as possible, right? And then beep, 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 beep. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been friends for a while, and I've worked with a lot of T1Ds. Let's admit it. We all are noisy unless you're not on CGMs, and
unless you're on Eversense and you can make it only vibrate. But yeah.
yeah, and I get that, and I know there's a whole bunch of features that we can do on the Dexcom and with our Tandem app. And one thing that blew my mind as I was sitting there, and I'm like, we have to be quiet. How many alarms there were? How many settings we had to go through, and some comments that I got about my social media posts. They don't know how to use their settings on their CGMs because they've never thought of these situations. And like the parents I've had a couple parents report that they talked to the school nurses. It appears that none of us really have a game plan, and there is not much material online what do you do in an emergency situation as a type 1 diabetic?
So
Can you cite?
you,
Go ahead,
I was just
Tara.
going to say,
Yeah.
you would essentially have to shut your phone off so you don't get the CGM alert, right? But
And I
then
think,
what do you have to do with your pump?
You'd have to turn it off.
well, that's what my concern is. But I have a tandem Mobi, and I have that set up. So I have no buttons on that. The only buttons I have on my tandem Mobi are the ones in case my phone dies, or if you would shut it off in this situation. I can only double click it and guess my carbs. So like I have a setting on my Mobi that so my phone dies, and I eat, let's say 10 grams of carbs, I click it twice, it'll give me like, I don't know, 10 units of insulin or 5 units of insulin. I see, and I don't even know because I never let my phone die. So like in that situation, and that's a great question. What do you do with your insulin pumps? What do you do with your CGM in these situations?
The pumps themselves don't beep much, right? It's really the app and the phone that's beeping, isn't it?
From what I remember with my T-Slim, I think that did have a settings for sounds and things like that.
Yeah. The Libre, I could never turn off. Even if I silenced my phone, it would still bust through that.
Yeah. And then someone also told me that Dexcom has a feature if you drop below 55, that it's going to beep at you anyways, which I understand, and I want to make it very clear.
They all have that. They all have that. It's the urgent,
And I want to make it very clear that, because I made on my post, is like shutting off these alarms. However, these alarms are also very useful.
Yeah. And
They
you don't
keep
know
us
how
alive at
long you're going to be in lockdown,
Right.
right?
Right.
And then another thing you brought up was, all right, let's imagine you had to very quickly scramble and go hide in a closet. Mm-hmm. You could be going low. You don't have a pack of Skittles in your pocket necessarily. You know what I mean? Like maybe you work at a desk and you had to go scramble, and you're prepared at your desk for lows, but not in a closet.
No, or hiding in a store. Yeah, like you said, storage, or like the bathroom and things like that. And one thing I was thinking about too, because I've left mornings where my insulin pump is at like 20% battery, but I'm so running out the door last minute that I'm going to charge it when I'm at the gym. Like I think that, but like what also happens if your insulin pump dies, or you're down to a few units of insulin in your pump and you're on lockdown and you weren't anticipating these things. So,
or if you're MDI like me, I don't have my insulin on me.
Right.
So
like, do you carry that in your pocket?
No, because for one, it doesn't fit in my pocket. I don't carry an insulin pen in my pocket all day. That wouldn't be good for the insulin to be next to my hot skin. And I can't carry on, you know what I mean? Like
You use a pencil case. You use a very chic pencil.
At home, I have a pencil case. And then when I'm out and about, I have some stuck in a purse. But like even a Frezza, yes, I could stick a few in my pocket. Yeah. But that's not my norm.
Right.
And so I would have no insulin on me, likely facing an adrenaline spike and a blood sugar shooting up 200 points in that scenario.
And for me, it's one of those things where it's like, I would rather off be high than low in that situation.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. You remember Escape Room with Jodie Foster?
I do. Oh my gosh, with Kristen Stewart?
Yeah, and it's all backwards. I think they have her going high but having symptoms of hypoglycemia in the escape room, right? Because she desperately needs her insulin, but she's sweating like it's a low, and she's like,
Yeah, that's how she became Bella Swan. It was Kristen Stewart, one of her first movie roles. I remember seeing that movie, though, and do you remember? I was just like, wow, how does she see her glucose on her watch or her phone or whatever? Because I had never heard of CGMs.
Advanced.
Yeah, they were super advanced back in that movie because I was like, wow.
What year did that movie come out? Did they really have CGMs when that
because Jodie Foster was looking at her daughter's blood sugar, remember? That's how she knew.
What year that movie is.
And they didn't obviously consult the right people to figure out like what to do when.
Oh, they never do. They never do. Or they do, but then they're like, we don't care, and we're just gonna twist it to suit our needs.
Yeah.
Panic Room. Oh, Panic Room is what it's called.
Okay.
2002. So no, Dexcom didn't exist back then.
Yeah,
but
I just remember Jodie Foster was like looking at her daughter's glucose, and that was why she was like, I gotta get. Like, and I'm not mocking it because I would hate to be in that situation.
Like, there's no way that there were CGMs there's no.
Hey, we have to rewatch it then because
They knew. I know. I want to rewatch it now.
Yeah, I want to rewatch it. I just want to do like a series of us watching bad T1D movies. Is like Purple Heart. Like I heard there was an episode in You, like the one with the guy, that show on You about the serial killer. Like I heard he kidnapped a T1D and they were having what they literally said like insulin withdrawals.
Yeah. Another terrible one is they do it terribly. I love the movie, but The Next 3 Days with Russell Crowe.
Never seen that.
It's really good, really good. But all of a sudden, when it's convenient, his wife has type 1 diabetes, and it's just like, oh, but by the way, she has type 1 diabetes, and now we're going to use it to break her out of prison, and it's like just all wrong.
As being someone who's actually been to jail, yeah, it's not that easy. And it's not ideal as a T1D. Please do not. This is my little thing. As a T1D, it's not pleasant. Please do not get in trouble, fellow T1Ds.
T1D.
I was only for a week.
That's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's another topic to talk about. But I can't tell people how frustrating that is as a T1D.
Oh, I've read some stories.
White bread and
many years
whole
ago,
milk.
some stories came out about how long they had to wait to get their insulin in prison, and they could never. Their blood sugar is just always high because they could just never get their insulin when they actually needed it.
Plus, they feed you whole milk and white bread.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of more fat.
Potatoes.
Yeah. So speaking of jail and just dangerous situations, going back to like the lockdown and things like that, I'm just blown away by how much little information we have about this and how many people haven't thought about it. Like the amount of parents are like, I never thought about my kid being in this situation at school.
Oh, and that's probably the most likely.
Yeah.
Right, is at school, unfortunately.
We do see that,
I mean,
yeah.
yesterday, so we're filming this on September 11th.
Which,
And yes, our heart goes out to those families
Yeah.
still, many, many, many years later.
yeah.
And then yesterday, conservative Kirk, I don't remember his last name. What was his name? Kirk.
Charles Kirk.
Charles Kirk. I had
was
never
Charles
actually
Kirk.
heard of him before. He was shot.
Neither did I.
And then there was also a school shooting yesterday.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we
I
had
think
a church
2 people
shooting.
died.
Yeah. So this had me thinking actually last night, and then when Ginger said she was interviewing you, and this happened to you in Maine yesterday. So I was just thinking, my brother's really good friend is in Utah, and that's where everything happened. She's a nurse, so they put SWAT teams around all the hospitals in there for security. And it actually made me think a little bit. And every day that I go for a walk, I have my little fanny pack that I wear across my body that has twist on it that we got from one of the conventions, the twist pump. And
Okay.
so it got me thinking, and now you're talking about the school, but it's almost like I feel like in those situations, if you have a child with T1D or you are a T1D that works in healthcare, it's almost to the point in our society now that if you want to be the type of person that's prepared, it's like you got to put a fanny pack on and expect for the worst case scenario.
Absolutely.
Not to be like glass half empty, but like being prepared. It's like teach your child, send your child just wears that fanny pack just for the emergency. You just wear that at work just for the emergency, and any other workplace that is high risk where it could happen.
Yeah. It's easy to think too. I mean, even as you say that, I'm thinking like, oh, it's not that common. But like, actually, there's so many school shootings nowadays. If you look in the less reported news, they get buried because it's like not even a big deal anymore.
Well, and I think there's been, over 200? And I know that number is way
Yeah, it's
lower
crazy.
than it is. School shootings, and then we had the incident on the bus where that young lady got stabbed a few days ago. With the guy was sitting behind her, and they're not advertising that. But like, think about like you said, we don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because until
I mean,
until
even
it
in our
happens.
area here, we've had a couple. The police intervened, but they did identify a teenager who was plotting a school shooting. He had something like 36 guns in his bedroom closet, and he was plotting a school shooting. And they caught him before, he was headed to school. But yeah, so there you go. I guess that proves myself wrong.
And I just want to say, like, kudos to our military and our law enforcement officers who are trying to keep us all safe. Like, I just want to make, this is not a political statement. We are having a human problem right now. This is not a this side or this side, because we are seeing this happening to all people, healthcare workers to the less fortunate. CEOs are getting shot on the street. Like, there's innocent children, there's kids praying in a church that are getting shot, and they're getting shot by all these different types of people. And for me, like I said, people have gone online to see, like, how do I shut my noises off? Like, how do I shut my alarms off? When do I turn my alarms off, like, back on? And I just wanted to give the information is that there's so many CGMs, so many insulin pumps. You did a great podcast about advocating for yourself. If you don't know how to use the settings on your pump, or please call them. The customer service for Dexcom is fantastic. I've heard amazing things about ever since your CGM. I just know that customer service will work with you on getting to know your settings. And I know as a T1D, it's annoying to have to be on the phone again, talking to your insulin pump company. But the reality is that we could talk about this for hours, the different sounds and settings. Call your device manufacturer and ask them what you can do to quiet your gadgets down. And you can even tell them why.
As long as your blood sugar doesn't go below 55. Otherwise, none of us can quiet it. Truly.
Yeah, unless you rip it out and shut, like you said, shut your phone off.
I mean, I think turn your phone off.
Which I'm not recommending that, because I would not want to know what my blood sugar was. Like, I would be very concerned not only about an active, violent person, but if I didn't have my CGM on me, like, even though you shut your phone off.
Extra panic.
Because these are things we have to think about as T1Ds, because it's not that easy.
Well, maybe that's a two parts in my mind for this. So maybe, I'm talking about that fanny pack, in those situations, maybe the parent or you as a T1D puts in a way to check if you have to shut your CGM off. Maybe that's part of the safety that's in here.
Right. Oh, I apologize. Sorry, my dog. Actually, my insulin pump tubing just arrived. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I get it shipped from Cali. But to go with that, and I had a parent actually tell me when I had my video up that they did secure a fanny pack with their kid with those things, like a glucose. They had the glucagon. The inhalable glucagon. They had that, and they said that they had those things on with them, which again, I say yes. That is fantastic advice. I think that we should send our kids, and as T1Ds, be prepared in kinds of those situations too, because it was another one, like, growing up, I had dated a girl whose father made her like an emergency car kit. Like, if she ever got pulled over, it had like a flare. She had a gallon of water.
Your go bag.
She had
a go bag.
And her dad gave her this, and I just thought it was so sweet because my family would have never done that for me. But I remember I got in the car with this girl, and I was like, "What's that in your bag?" She goes, "Oh, my dad. My dad gave me a flare." And so maybe like to even have like a to-go bag, because me and my wife were talking about it. Like, what if our house caught on fire? I have no bag ready.
Yeah, but you can't just store insulin in your car all the time.
Yeah, it gets hot.
And you can't just store insulin in a go bag indefinitely. You'd have to update it all the time.
Right.
That I know you have a lot on your plates. I'm not minimizing that, so please don't think that. But that's just something I feel like with the world changing the way it is, it has to be part of a new routine. And like, if it's parents, they're teaching their kids, like, you have that go bag, and then there's something set on your phone, just like you have to calibrate your CGM, you have to check your insulin,
it should be a discussion with kids. Like, I talk to my kids about stranger danger and stuff like that all the time, and they don't have diabetes. But if you have a little kid who, it's possible that your 5-year-old with type 1 is going to end up hiding in a coat closet with an active shooter going around the school, and they need to know one of their steps is to silence their stuff.
Speaking back to what BJ was saying too, like call Dexcom, call whoever.
Yeah, find out.
I also feel like maybe it's time for those larger companies to think about putting out some campaigns
Absolutely.
and educating the public on this situation. Like, this should now start to be one of, and it should have been a while ago. They need
Absolutely.
to educate parents, and they need to educate T1Ds, and there should be some money backed behind this, and this should be pumped out so that it can be shared within the community repetitively.
Absolutely.
But also with that, they need to make sure there is a total silence option on their technology.
You've been asking for that for years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, and it's a liability for them because you can't just be like, I'm in a lockdown app, please allow this. The liability is, well, if it goes totally silent, it won't save you in the middle of the night. You'll forget to turn it back on when you put it on in a meeting. You'll forget it before you fall asleep. I get it. But, and I've said this before, we need to be silent just like non-diabetics sometimes.
We absolutely do. And it's going back to that. I agree. We need to put money into this because as Ginger has, like, I've taught all over the country. I've gone to conferences. I have volunteered at camps. We have never had this discussion.
No.
And I am still overwhelmed by the amount of comments, questions, and shares. So many people shared the video, and I was just sharing my experience. And I've had experience working as security and things like that, but we don't talk about this enough. And this is no disregard to people who are trying really hard as diabetics to be influencers, but that it's not always us smiling and being like, diabetes, like the reality is, and Ginger, you're not like that. You're the one thing I always get about, one thing people always say about me when I fangirl about you is the one reason they love your social media so much is because you're real. So I just want to say, don't ever change. And that's why I wanted to be the first to talk to you about this stuff, because I've talked on many podcasts and they will edit and they will fluff and they will just be too concerned. But we need to talk about this more. This is what's happening right now in our country. And we need, like you said, money. Like Dexcom, talk to us about these things. Talk to us about it with Tandem, Omnipod, because there are going to be kids in schools. There's going to be adults working or just riding the bus.
It makes you vulnerable. It makes you extra vulnerable. The noises from your diabetes tech.
And also it brings awareness. Like I had a coworker be like, shit, I never thought about it. Cause they hear my beeping.
Yeah.
And
right. It also makes everyone who's hiding with you vulnerable. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, hi, we're over here. On floor 2.
Yeah. You're like, BJ, can you go hide somewhere else?
Yeah. Can you please go out in the hallway with the shooter and take you and your noises somewhere else?
Oh.
Because, and then, so you're not just thinking about the safety of yourself.
Yeah.
But and the truth is, and the best advice I can personally give in that situation is find someplace safe, try to stay quiet. And don't be a hero. And don't be a hero. A lot of times, and people, because I've had coworkers make comments to me, they're like, MMA. I just want to make one thing clear. No, there's no amount of self-defense. There is no amount of going out there and being like, I'm gonna go punch this active shooter. Guess what? I'm gonna lose to a gun or a knife. I want to be like, we're invincible, but the reality is, and I have to tell people this all the time. Like I had to tell a coworker, I was like, I'm not gonna. Unless they come at me.
Unless you're Jake Gyllenhaal in the Roadhouse. Oh. Jake Gyllenhaal in Roadhouse can basically be a gun, 17 people at one time, or a knife. But
he's not real.
Really hot.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reality is, when you're doing MMA, you're stepping into a ring prepared for a fight. You're both pausing. You're both starting.
Exactly.
There's rules. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm really glad I know self-defense.
Yeah.
And I'll always say that. Like, I do feel safer, like, if someone came at me, like, on a street thing. But if someone's holding a gun to me, I don't think I'm going to be like, hiya, Jake Gyllenhaal. or I liked Kurt Russell. Wasn't it Kurt Russell in the original?
No, Patrick Swayze.
Oh, it was Patrick
Swayze.
On you.
Shame on you. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Whew.
That's going to take me a minute to forgive, but it's okay.
Well, I'm Team Patrick Swayze.
Yes.
But I'm also 10 years older than you, so.
I'm Team Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
understandable.
Real bad, yeah.
Yeah. But I just wanted to make that clear too, because I often get time when I am at the gym that I hear from grown men. They're like, if I see red, you'd be fine. Please don't try to be a hero. Like you know, when people, haven't you heard that from people? Oh, I
Yeah.
get so angry if I see red.
Tara and I have a friend who she's like, it's usually in defense of someone else, but I'm seeing red right now, and she's really strong. Like, oh boy.
Do you have a temper, BJ? Do you have
Absolutely.
Okay, so I do too. Really bad. I'm super this until I'm not, and then
I know, I've heard.
I do see red, and I would like to think I don't know. I don't know.
One thing I've learned over the years, whether it was working in de-escalation with mental health, was that when we get angry, our IQ drops. Mm-hmm. And we are not able, it's actually a proven fact. So you could and you're a very smart woman. You know, I love you. You're both very smart and things like that. And I'm just going to say this. So did I ever tell you the story about the time I thought I could see red and got beat up by a blonde-haired registered nurse at the gym? No. And I quickly realized seeing red. So I was practicing MMA. I had just started, and we don't have very many females. My friend Angie, she's this humane cheerleader. She's married. She's a mom, and moms are so strong. Well, I was cocky when I first started MMA, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be fine. Look at this girl. I'll tell you what, in 5 seconds, she had me picked up on my back and was like choking me out or punching me. And I was like, I thought I was seeing red, but my IQ dropped. And I was so humbled that I have forever changed my mind and just kept going back to classes, because you can't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
But I went into it that person, and I was like, I'm seeing red.
Yeah.
And then she picked me up and just because she kept a level
And that's
head.
the cool thing about MMA too, is that the technique is not, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog.
Yeah, and I just want to make it clear, the gun will always win no matter size.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yes.
Dog you are. And I just have to, it's just so sad. And I had some comments yesterday from some of my friends. When she lives in over in England, she actually said, I'm just so sorry that we have to have this conversation.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
But we have to have it.
Well, we're glad you're okay, and that everybody turned out to be okay in that particular situation that you experienced. A lot of other people yesterday were not okay.
No.
In other parts of the country.
Yeah. And we have a long way to go.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, it's only getting worse, so I'm not,
So I think for
I'm
us,
not optimistic. Yeah.
and I feel personally, is that we have to come up with a plan. And thoughts and prayers, love that. However, I think we need more action too, to go behind that as well. You know, like we need to be more solution focused in these situations.
I'd be really impressed if these CGM companies and these tech companies will touch something so real and really, honestly, it would shock me if these companies will.
I'm just going to throw out there, and hopefully somebody that's working at one of these companies hears this. Whoever is the first CGM company to do this, to start the campaign, that's going to speak volumes right there.
It's going to be huge.
It'll be huge, and that's going to set them above everyone else.
We're calling you out right now. We're calling you out. We're tagging you.
They all have an option. Whoever does
They're
it.
all, usually these companies across the board are so worried about being politically correct and sweet and nice.
This isn't about
I know.
politics.
I know. It's not. But that's
about
where their
safety.
brain goes, oh, no, we can't talk about something like that. Yeah. No,
Well-
I would be really impressed if they can get over that and be real.
They need to. I'm challenging them all right now. We need someone to think about outside the box. Because like you said.
Well, what if you're talking about if you have a fire? Don't talk about the schools or work or whatever. If they're afraid that's going to tie them with politics, talk about if you have an earthquake, if you have a house fire, if you know, Spin it from that angle.
Yeah.
Zombie apocalypse. You can go you can't be loud during a zombie apocalypse. You can make a very hypothetical thing, like, you know, and you don't
gun
have
violence in schools is not political. Gun rights, that goes political. But talking about, it's a fact that there is gun violence in schools. That's not political.
They can
It's
just
a
talk
fact.
about safety situations, you know, in general.
Yeah.
We need someone to start this. And I think by having this conversation today, we're starting it. We are starting it here. We are challenging these companies to join us because, like you said, yes, it's not political, but we need the people with the money, with the gadgets, with the things to be like, there's much more to this, and we need to show you how to be safe.
And
The safest you can be.
Yeah, I will volunteer my time to help whatever company steps up first. To
Me too.
give them my knowledge, my marketing and sales knowledge to help them start the campaign to get it out there. So
Perfect.
They won't accept it. They'll think they've got it
I'm
covered.
just saying.
And they'll,
Are we going to do it
this
by
is-
ourselves? You and I will
this is
start the campaign.
I know, we should do it ourselves.
If we have to, we will.
My concern with these companies is they're going to just throw their team on it, put out some generic stuff, if they even do it. So I think if we want some real guidance, we're going to have to drive it ourselves. That's
I'm
my
down.
skepticism.
Okay. So
I'm down. Let's do it.
Why are we waiting for them to do it? They won't.
I don't have T1D. You're MDI. You're on Dex. You're Tandem.
I'm a tandem Dexcom.
Okay, so we can educate with air. What else? We're going to have to find some other pump users to figure out all the gadgets on how to educate.
Yeah, we can. I know there's Omnipod users. If anyone's listening to this and wants to jump on board, I say we can make this a real deal because we have to.
Yeah.
Because we have to. Whether we do it on our own, whether we start it and then companies pick up on it. But we need some guidance here. We need companies to go over these settings, to tell us and educate us, because we have so many options, not just for our safety, but for the people in the room's safety too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's do it. I'm 100% on board, and I know that there are many insulin pump users out there that, and I just want to make one thing clear too. So while I was sitting there, it took me at least 2 to 3 minutes on my phone to go through and shut off all my alarms.
Yeah.
Because I forgot about the reminders for this. Then I forgot about the Tandem app, and then I had to go to the Dexcom app, and then I had to go, and I was just like, oh gosh, because I shut off all my Tandem alarms, but then I was like, I forgot about my Dexcom, and here I am. And there's always been this thing I've learned in safety courses is people who attack you look for certain things. Number 1, headphones in. Number 2, looking at your phone. Number 3, long hair and ponytails. Number 4, they look at your shoes. If you're wearing Crocs, looking at your phone, and you have long hair, and both ear pods in, your chances, if someone is watching you and wants to attack, they're probably going to attack you more than the person without headphones.
And a
without
pixie cut.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And one thing, just going with that, is we have to think about how can we be aware. When I was setting on my alarms, though, my head was down like this because I wasn't thinking of the violent person.
Right.
I was thinking about my alarms. And if I was doing this and then I look up and there's someone standing in front of me, I'm spending too much time trying to save my life than being aware of my surroundings. Does that make sense?
And I mean, you just have to remember that's one type of scenario. You were in technically,
And I was safe.
as far as you knew, a safe place. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Versus somebody could just be running
Kicking
and then
indoors.
hiding and panicking, and
It makes me think it's almost like if you're a T1D or a parent of a T1D, that you said you kind of forgot all the things. It's like almost like in school where we have fire drills. Okay. Maybe we should have alarm drills with ourselves or our kids, teaching them, okay, let's go through the settings. Let's do this.
I love that.
I told you, I'm volunteering my time here.
I'm volunteering mine too.
So,
I think we're volunteering to do this without the
Ourselves.
CGM companies because
Okay.
I don't.
I love
have
that.
faith
They
in
want to
them
hop on, they can.
rising
But
up to
there's
this,
that. How many pumps are there?
Not enough.
I know I know some stuff about T1D, but I don't know a lot about pumps. So I would be very happy. Like that part of their levels.
I think there are 4 right now.
They name them.
If
You
you
have
count
Tandem.
T-Slim, Medtronic, Omnipod, and then
Twist.
it's about, I don't know if anyone really has it on their body yet, but the Twist. And
Beta Bionic.
I was just going to say that.
the eyelet. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. Good
The
call.
one we always save for last.
So we've got 5. And then CGMs, we have 3.
Libre, Eversense, Dexcom, and then we have the Medtronic's Guardian sensor.
Oh, right.
We don't. That's also the one we forget about. It's like the last kid picked in class. We're like
when
Beta
you hear
Bionic.
someone
Yeah,
using
we
it,
need
you're
one
like,
more person.
why? Why are you using that one?
Oh man, those sensors are so
I
bad.
could navigate around Libre and a little bit around Eversense. That would be.
You'd
Libre
be
would
fine poking around a Dexcom. It's all you go in and find the settings. But
But it's just very consuming. Like I had friends because I just taught out in Colorado, and I was amazed by honestly how many people didn't know how to change the sounds on their CGMs and things like that. Because I'm not going to lie to you, my endocrinologist never told me these things. I was actually on an interview with Dr. Liz. I can't remember her name, Dr. Liz Capuco, a few years ago, and she was the one who told me about the settings on my Dexcom. I was like, no one's ever told me these things.
you know what I want to show you on the Eversense? One thing I love so much about this, there's a do not disturb. You see that?
Yeah.
That silences it completely.
Oh, so no vibration?
But
Does it vibrate still?
disable, this is sound settings, so it will still vibrate. Vibration's quiet. I don't think that would get me, give
No.
away my location somewhere, but disable all non-critical alerts. So it will, I think, still beep if I go below 55.
Oh, okay.
And I know myself too that I don't think clearly when I'm running low. Like I've had situations where you want to stay safe, you want to stay quiet, but when your brain is and it's hard to describe it, but
Nope.
Ginger, and you've seen Ginger with a low.
Yeah, she acts like she's drunk.
Does she make bad jokes? Because she
No,
always,
I just see it in her eye. It's just like
you're glazed.
not-
You're just glazed.
it's not Ginger.
No, and it's one of those things because Ginger's one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. That we are not who we are when our sugar is low.
Your
We do
brain is not
think-
getting the glucose it needs to function.
No.
But Tara and I were on vacation. She was just telling someone this the other day. We're on vacation together, and she's getting alerts on her Apple Watch and we're in the pool. I've had quite a few drinks. I'm having a blast, and diabetes is not going to rain on my parade. And her watch is telling her that my blood sugar is like below 55, and she's like, "Hey, you're low. You need to go get something." And I was like, "I don't care."
And then you're like, look at her face. Look at her face.
I got out of the pool. I went. I'm gonna do some shout out here, but I went and got a packet of Elevate, and I said, "Shove that in your mouth."
She just puts it in the pool and makes like a glucose party.
Yeah.
She's like,
I was probably like,
"Woo!"
"Ooh, it's pink."
Starts like she's freaking Pamela Anderson on Baywatch. She's like,
That happened too. However, I knew if I brought her what she needed, she would cooperate. Which is
I
great.
would consume
We didn't.
it. I
we
wouldn't
really
chuck
do.
it back at you. Yeah.
No.
yeah. Because we do get that way. And we think of those situations. So, like, if you were, having a good time, you were at your pool, you were like, woohoo, look at me go. And then someone caused violence. Number one, you're under the influence
Yeah.
on top of it. And then you're having a low blood sugar.
I think I could calm that person down. I would just dance and be like,
No,
"Come on, go
then
have a margarita with me."
I would be her only hope.
I could save the day. at one of
I would
those.
need duct tape for your mouth.
She's like, distractions.
I think I could talk them off their ledge and get it all calmed.
There's our problem right there, trying to be the hero.
Take our insulin out and put it in a syringe and get the shooter with it. Just
For sure.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
self-defense.
Quite the maneuver. And then everybody wait. in about 2 hours, this person's going to pass out from a low.
Right.
Great strategy. Great weapon.
It takes forever. Why is this taking so long?
Wait, we need to get some ultra fast inhaled insulin into this man. Hey, buddy, can you just take a hit on this with me before you attack all of us?
But then they're not going to know that there's inhaled insulin and that are going to be suspect.
Right.
Yes. All right. Well, first, Tara Mayo, thank you for bringing me the Elevate in the pool when my blood sugar was low.
I'm glad, but it just verifies that we're not always in the right cognitive state.
No,
Like,
and
when
hey,
our
that
blood-
counts as me needing assistance. We were just talking about severe lows are categorized sometimes by the FDA as needing assistance. And it's not like I was passed out and unable to consume food, but I still did need someone
Yeah.
logical to bring glucose to me.
Yeah.
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 We're thankful
Bobby
for
Jean, yes, we're thankful. Bobby Jean, thank you for sharing your story. We're glad you're okay, and we're gonna keep talking about this.
We need to, and I appreciate you making time to talk about it because a lot of people don't want to because it's so risque. But the community wants it from Maine to Britain. They want it. They want to know more about this because
Right.
we don't know what we don't know, and that's
Yeah.
no one's fault.
Well, we'll publish this next week and make it happen.
Okay. I'm so glad we had the three of us. It was a nice talk.
Of course, yeah.
Triple threat right
All right.
here.
Love you both.
I love you.
Love you all.